Okay, welcome back, science students. This is the second half of our scale model. If you like to use colors, some of you told me colors helps you learn. So if you want to get, maybe 5, 6 different colored highlighters and a different colored pen, go ahead. If colors doesn't help you, then you don't have to use it. All right, so I'm going to use a red pen for now. And let's talk about scale. So 5 inches on this scale equals 100 yards. You went on a walk for 100 yards, and then we laid that out against 5 inches. And that's our scale. A scale is a comparison. Okay, we're going to have a second part to our scale. And this is part 2 of our scale. And on this scale, 1 yard, so now we're talking about yards, 1 yard equals 46 million years. Okay, so again, 1 yard equals 46 million years. If we have 100 yards, see if you could figure that out. If 1 yard equals 46 million years, how many years would be in 100 yards? So you can pause the video if you want to try to figure that out. And that would be 4,600 million years. We can write out MYA instead of million over and over again. And I have an extension question for you. If we have billions of years, a billion years, how long, how would you write this as a billion? So you can pause the video there. How would you write 4,600 million as a billion? Okay, that would be 4.6 billion years. So let's start our walk, and let's walk from the past to the present. So the 0 yard line is today. That's the present. That's you and me right now. Okay, if we go back to 100 yards, this is right here when the Earth forms. And if you took a walk outside on a field or sidewalk, or this is where you started. Okay, so let's go on our walk. You start walking from 100 yards to 0 yards. See if you can find where the 76 yard line would be. See if you can look and make a mark where you think 76 yards would be. You can pause the video if you need. Okay, so 75 would be about here. 76 would be about here. Let's mark it. Go one line up, and then one line all the way to the end. Okay, this would be 76 yards. So on our timeline, see if you could figure out, if we're at 76 yards, how many millions of years would that be? If you need to pause the video, go ahead. Okay, if we're at 76 yards times 46, we would be at about 3,500 million years. And then again, see if you could calculate that into a billion years. What would a billion years be? Okay, billion years would be 3.5 billion. And what happened at this time? Well, scientists have found really amazing fossils. The oldest fossils in existence, and they are bacteria. They are called cyanobacteria. Another name for them is prokaryotes. And scientists have found these in rocks. They're able to date them. And it is a really incredible process. So let's see where we are. If I'm going to use highlighters, you don't have to. If we go one line up, mark that over. 3.5 billion years, we've got the oldest fossil bacteria. Okay, we're about 1 billion years into the Earth's history. It's a long, long time. Okay, see if you can find, where do you think the 43 yard line would be? Okay, see if you can mark that. Okay, let's go, here's 45 about here, so 43 would be about here. We've got the 43 yard line. And let's go up 2 lines to here. And let's trace our steps all the way back to when time began on the earth. And now we're over halfway. So we've got 43, let's see, it'd be about 43 times 46. What do you get? All right. So roughly, you can write down what you have, but roughly we're about this time period in the Earth's history. 1,900 to 2,500 million years ago. And at this time, we have oxygen. And up here in our timeline, we could write free oxygen buildup. And I forgot to write here, but we can write first life on Earth. Amazing, the first life. Okay, so I'm going to use a highlighter here. You can use whatever color you like, but I'm going to differentiate because it helps some students. Where at this time we have free oxygen. And what happened? Why is there oxygen in the air? Thanks to plants, we can breathe with oxygen. They give us that. But why? How did it even get here in the first place? I mean, most of the Earth's history, none of us could breathe. So how did it get here? So let's go back to the first part. We have cyanobacteria, and they were doing something that produced oxygen. Okay, what could it be? What did they do to produce oxygen? There was a process that was happening. So you may want to stop the video, think about that. What was this process? Okay, welcome back if you stopped. The process was photosynthesis. These little organisms here were taking sunlight and creating oxygen for us to breathe. All right. So we've got the free oxygen buildup. And I have an extension question for you. I have some extra credit. So if we're at this time, about 2 billion years ago, could humans breathe? That's just, if you're feeling curious, could humans breathe at this time, 2 billion years ago? That's an extension. All right. So we went from 76 to 43. See if you can find the 12-yard line. Where would you mark that on your scale? Okay, here's 15. Okay, 12 would be around here. Let's go 1, 2, 3 lines up. Let's mark 12 yards here. And wow, we're going a long ways back. We've walked most of the Earth history. And what's happening now? 12 yards. Okay, scientists have found at this time hard skeletons are common in the what? What do you think they're common in? How do we know that any of this exists at all? How does anybody know? See if you can know what scientists are finding these hard skeletons in. Okay? All right, they are finding them in the fossil record. That's how we know that these little guys over here even existed. They're in shards of rock. Okay, this is, we're at the 12-yard line. You may want to take 12 times 46 to find how many millions of years ago we are. And you could pause the video for that. And I'm going to use a highlighter to differentiate our time. So we've got green going back here, down here. And we've got the 12-yard line. Hard skeletons are common in the fossil record. And what year did you come up with? How many millions of years ago are we? Okay. And I'm going to leave that to you. I'm not going to write it down this time. I'm going to see what number that you came up with. Okay, and let's put under here, let's say we have diverse life. And it's really a amazing time. We've had plants, animals, in the oceans. It's really, really amazing. Okay, next part of our field, we're going to go to the 5 See if you can find the 5-yard line. We're going to the 5.4 yard line, but see if you can find the 5-yard line. Okay, so 5-yard line, right about here. 5.4, a little further. Let's go up 1, 2, 3, 4 lines here. Make a line down and draw a line all the way back to where we started 4 billion years in the past. And I'm going to use a highlighter again to show the difference in these times. And what happened here? If you do know, pause the video, write it down. But at this time, the dinosaurs dominate. They are all over the skies, the oceans, the land. It is the age of reptiles. And let's take our diagram down a little bit to add some notes. So we are at the 5.4 yard line. So 5.4 times 12, times 46. Excuse me, what did you get? Okay, how many millions of years? Okay, and at this time, again, dinosaurs dominate. I'm going to add a little color here to make things different. There you go. Okay, so now see if you can find the 1.4 yard line. Where would the 1.4 yard line be? Okay, so there's 0. 1 would be way down here. Let's go up to this line here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're at 1.4. And let's go all the way back. This is almost all of the Earth's history here. And what happens here is a mass extinction. Okay, if we take our notes down here, this is a mass extinction. And what time did you come up with? What is the time? Okay, and something that happened at this time, there was a giant meteor. And this meteor hit the Yucatan Peninsula. And wiped out nearly almost all life on Earth. I mean, it was just a catastrophic event. This glass shards rained down. It was catastrophic. So this, if we change this, we've got the 1.4 yard line. See if you can figure out how long ago that was. And this would be the mass extinction with the meteor. Okay, we're almost out of room. We're right at the very end. If we go down to the 2-inch line, let's go to 2 inches. This is the end of our story. We're almost there. There's not enough room. I'm going to put a line, go up to this next line, and I'm going to take my last color and draw a line all the way across. So it would be our last little spot here. And what do you think happened here? What is significant about this line? If you know, write it down. Okay, here at the 2, we're at 2 inches. We have our human ancestors appear. And this is about 3 million years ago. Okay, that's changing as scientists learn more, but that's what's cool about science. It changes as we learn. So we have human ancestors. That completes our geologic timeline. If anything surprised you or interested you about this timeline, let me know. Write it down. Okay.